change your mind. Can't shake the light. I'll take the chance.
All right, guys, we are back. This is map number 2 of our best of 3 here, the RGN Intercontinental North American Division. And it's Hyper versus DWG. This is Hyper's map choice, but pistol rounds live, and Sin has already opened things up. It's looking like they're opting for a B-side play, and Sin will be able to take down a second before they even step foot in the site. So things not working out. Shifty and SLI very, very lit as well, and they're just going to force the issue and go for it. Looks like Toops actually put significant damage onto SLI, so some team damage early on here, and it's all up to Toop and Shifty as they're trying to just deke around this pillar, but being that their position completely known, they are going to get shut down here. So good opening pistol round from DWG, and Hyper, on the other hand, they're going to be a little bit upset as, like I was saying, this is their map pick, but we are here. Round number 2. I am Sprawl. By my side is Bach, and I wish you were actually by my side, Bach. You seem like a guy that would really be able to comfort me in some upsetting situations, just by my side, but no, we are only virtually by our sides.
Exactly. I think you had mentioned it in the last round, Toop doing a bit of damage to SLI. I think he knifed him in the back early on. Sin picking up 3 quick ones as I can't shut my mouth here. Toop, Sav, and Shifty down. SLI finally stops the P90 Rampage. Fabian's going to come in with the help of Foblis, take down Deimos and SLI. But the Rampage from Sin doing extreme damage with the P90, and that's just that gun in a nutshell. It's perfect for these anti-eco rounds because that armorless T is just a target that is waiting to be annihilated by the P90's massive clip, erratic recoil, and it's just a joke. I mean, it's insane facing up against an eco how good the P90 really is.
And we're seeing a number of Deagles on the field. Once again, Hyper not changing that aspect of their play. As we can see, they're opting to just rush out long. So we'll see if this works out. The problem, though, is Robbie holding a great angle with Zem4 in hand. He misses the shots, though, and now falling back. He hasn't peeked again. If he literally just jumped, he would have so much information on where this push is taking place, but that nade will do good damage. Now from Bank, seems like all of his bullets are missing. His spray looked like it was on, but now pushing up into sight, we're going to have just an absolute decimation, but the bomb being planted, that is the objective they were going for. So they'll have some more money in this next round, and might even mean, yeah, they've got enough for an AWP. So Shifty's going to be happy about that. 6,600 on him means that you can pick that up with armor and a little bit of utility as well. So 3-0. This is a very CT-sided map, so guys, don't be too surprised or too down and out if you see Hyper down some rounds, as definitely on that CT side, that's where they're looking to make the comeback.
Yeah, and this is a map that favors alt play due to large stretches of completely open land, like Long Park. Obviously, that's like AWPing territory. That's essentially the mid of this map. Sin's going to get the better of Shifty here, taking him down over by Short Tunnel. That's the other long section AWPing area for this map. You'll see a lot of duels take place over there. There's 3 players in the water coming out long pipe already. They're spamming through the plywood, not finding much of anything here. Fabian is around that corner. Deimos coming downstairs. So all 4 players here stacked up in water. Smoke's going to rain out from the CTs. It's going to hold these guys off just a little while longer. And SLI with this boost in sight. We're over in water, peeking where Foblis was just about to peek, but not enough patience on Hyper. As the smoke fades, they're going to try and get into the site as quickly as they can. They know there's still only 3 players over here, and that the rotate is destined to be on here. Salmo and Robbie1 right around the other side of that door, and Flash is going to rain out through the window. An excellent flashbang from DWG. Foblis and Salmo getting 3, and now Foblis getting 2 more, I believe. So a 3K for Foblis, 1 on Salmo, and Sin gets the other. Team Hyper down 4-0 here on Overpass.
Yeah, and DWG just coming in and pinching on that location. Puts an end to that round, and I'm really liking this new spectating flash. I don't get a full white screen anymore. It's just kind of like the white around the edges, and I can still see. It's fantastic. And it also means that my pale skin, it hurts when the white, it's too bright. It's too bright.
Too much sunburn.
Exactly. I get sunburned from my my 24-inch monitor here. But round number 5. Hyper on the Eco, and they're going for another long play here. It opted or ended in a bomb plant last time. We'll see if it will be the same, but first frag for Robbie. They've got an AWP down long, so different from last round on the defense means that although the M4A1S is definitely a good weapon for the op, definitely the preferred weapon, as now falling apart is this Eco Rush, but they are able to take down Robbie, and that's an AWP down. But being the location of it getting dropped, I don't think SLI will be able to grab it, and no, he tries eventually, but Shifty with 1 means 2 frags on the board. It's kind of a bare minimum for those Eco rounds, but the money on the CT side is definitely starting to hit that kind of critical mass that we'll be able to buy for, I don't know, at least the next round if they lose one. But that's a comfortable feeling on the CT side of Overpass. Hyper, though, this is their map choice. They need to wake up and get around here as, like I said, with the amount of money on that side, if they're able to buy once, twice after you lose a round, that's a beautiful situation.
And right now, 2 players on the T side that are struggling. Deimos and Sav have not found a single kill yet. And as I say that, Sin is going to take down Deimos here early in the round with that pick on short tunnel, yet again putting that op to work. And there is a player in water. That would be Sav, if I'm not mistaken. 3 players over there now as the door pops open. SLI and Toop. They're going to go for that same boost again, trying to get a line of sight into the bomb site here, but not able to find it as Fabless is sitting right around the edge there. That spot peeks over towards Toxic Barrels, but there's not a single player there right now. Sin pushed up deep into Canal, Fabless and Pit. And then Fabian is over by CT Cross, an interesting 3-man hold here. Not putting any emphasis on windows. Smoke raining out. Sin gets a frag with his op. Robbie 1 gets one as well. Fabless is going to polish off the head of Sav, and now it's on Toop. 50 HP, bomb in hand, 43 seconds left. He's going to make his way over towards Long Tunnel, but I believe he's made enough noise that at this point the CTs know exactly where he is. He's going to run back into T-spawn and maybe try and get this bomb down or save his AK. A nice shot, though, is going to take down Sin, so that's the op out of him. And he has been struggling here, staying alive round in and round out. He's already died 4 times. Robbie 1 finally getting that kill as my tongue gets tied there. But, I mean, Sin has been doing good work with the op, but he continues to die, and it's something I've talked about before, is that the op only gets you $100 per kill. So buying that $4,750 rifle plus armor, that's $5,750 for a $100 reward 3 rounds in a row, devastates a team's economy if they are unable to retrieve yours from a pickup. Even if they are, they have to rebuy rifles, which also hurts the team economy. It's an aspect of gameplay that before the CZ was introduced, I almost discourage teams from having a dedicated AWPer unless he was lights out.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And Hyper, they're going to get the opening pick here, so Sin going down, that player that we were just highlighting, we're going to curse him as instead of dying later in the rounds, he goes down right away. But that being said, this is the pick they've been looking for. Hyper has been falling apart because each round that they have rifles, they try and peek towards Sin there, but Sin's been able to get the opening frag. So now that it's gone the opposite direction, how do they work this site? They're pushing in, but SLI and Sav already very lit. The bomb is going to be set. Deimos with another. It will be a 3v4 as it's the closest thing we've seen to a round from the T side. But we are going to see Shifty burned to death by Salmo peeking up from water. This should be a freebie. Yeah, SLI goes down. 2v2 situation as it is going to be only Toop, and he just takes a bullet to the brains. 35 HP. He does peek out and get one. Will he get Robbie as well? He will. So a huge round there for Toop. And he's able to get an AWP, first one on the board. But if you're an optimistic thinker like I like to think I am, it's now an opportunity for DWG to destroy the economy of Hyper. If Hyper cannot pick up this next round, that is a serious issue where DWG could be going up a scoreline that may not be recoverable on that CT side once the swap happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you clearly had op on the brain with words like opportunity and
Oh yeah,
optimistic.
all the time. Yeah.
Deimos gonna get the op there that Toop was able to save. Sav goes down early in the round to Fabless, pushing up through that smoke on Cat, a little bit confused as to what he was thinking exactly. Obviously, DWG is going to have guns. They have plenty of rounds chained together. They have the money to buy. There are a few players that are struggling here. Fabian is at 0, Sin at 1250, but they would be able to be rebought if they are going down in this round. Shifty creeping his way over towards A, and he's going to give them so much information. There is not a single player on that A bomb site. If he can get in here and these T's can rotate out of water, that would be huge, but Robbie1 all the way back on picnic area. He's going to be waiting for this rotate out, and here we see Toop coming up the doors right now. Coming through, he's going to get dropped. Oh my goodness, Robbie1 with the knife out, spots out Toop. Toop does not see him. Somehow Robbie1 survives certain death. Bomb is going to be dropped back by picnic, and now the T's are going to have to rotate over. Robbie1 there, though, by himself. So SLI and Shifty really need to put the squeeze on him. Fabian gonna take out Shifty as he pushes down towards B. So now SLI by himself picking up bomb, heading back over towards B, dropped by Salmo as he comes out squeaky door. So a round that probably could have gone better for Hyper had they picked off Robbie, who was just running around there in the courtyard outside of bathrooms with his knife out. If Toop had gotten that frag, that's the A bomb site gifted to them. Then they have the plant with the two-man hold, one other holding the flank. It would have been a pretty easy job. Instead, Toop doesn't spot out Robbie1, and DWG gets yet another round.
Yeah, now no money on that Hyper side, so saving once again. And I'd love to see a default where they just essentially move out around the map and just kind of prevent the aggression, because that's what we saw there. Just so much aggression from the CT side that it turns into a spot where it's like, yeah, you guys spawned at one side of the map and we spawned at the other, but anybody could be anywhere. So you have to be checking so many corners. It creates such a time crunch in trying to make it to other locations of the map. So this eco round is going to be a straight up mid push. Toop will go down as Robbie gets that frag, and coming up are the T's. We do have Sav attempting to open things up. Shifty, though, will hit a 1D. And actually, Deimos with a second. At SLI, can he get something done? He makes it a 1v2 here. That's economic damage done, but at this point, they want rounds on the board, so he's going to try and clutch, obviously. He's got armor and an M4. He's got one player at truck, Sin, right at the bottom of electric box. Now going towards bank, but Fabian keeps his location unknown, peeks out, and will blindside SLI for the round victory. So 8-1. Hyper, they have not shown us a heck of a lot on this T side, and you would expect that they pick the map, they're going to have some strategies to work, but nothing's really working. They keep trying to, it looks like their default play is try and get a pick down. One player at tracks tries to peek into B to get a frag, and I don't know if it's worked out for them a lot of times before, enough that they don't really have a lot of other strats to work, but that has been the only clear-cut strat I've really witnessed them go for. Now we're going to see a bit of a split play, but it is an eco round going the way, though, thus far in Hyper's favor, so they might be able to get this round in, and it would be a key one for them to get back into this map.
Yeah, I really felt last round was their opportunity. They had that 1v2, and he had the M4 and the body armor in sight. 40 seconds was left, and he just, some reason, decided to run across the site towards truck to get the bomb, and Fabian was just waiting for him. But even if Fabian wasn't there, the audio cue was just way too big. You can't give up that much information. Sin's going to take out Shifty as they push towards short pipe. Sav with the deagle gets another one, so there's going to be M4s across the board for the T side. Two men with body armor, so they might be able to survive that aim punch long enough. And Sav picking up the 3K now, finally dropped by Fabless. Fabless over by CT Cross, and the Molly not really covering that spot all too well. SLI in sight, Toop over by door watching the flank.
Oh,
and
he's lagged out.
I think Toop is lagged out. That's a shame. Something we've seen happen more than once. So now it's a 1v1. Fabless versus SLI, and they know that it's a 1v1 at this point as Hyper has already requested the pause. So SLI is going to have to come up big for his team here. They really need to get more than one round at this point. Hoping to get at least 3 or 4. I mean, that's not necessarily amazing, but it's manageable as this is a heavily CT-sided map. Fabless is pushing his way around site, walking up from pit. SLI with the line of sight. Perfect peeking there for SLI. So Fabless goes down. Hyper gets round number 2, and despite the fact that Toop did lag out, The fact that he survives long enough that he was able to get back to spawn before disconnecting means they're going to be able to keep that M4. So either he lagged out or he just disappeared, because typically by now you would see this player completely disappear.
Yeah, I think it's a timeout. He's got 330 ping, so there we go. It's actually it says disconnect, but I don't know. I don't necessarily always trust the reasons for the disconnect, like it's saying disconnect or what told it to say just disconnect rather than timeout. Who knows? But we are going to have a slight pause here. Hyper getting a must-win round to get back into this half. They can get 3, 4, 5 would be great. They should be able to have a good comeback on that CT side. And my best guess is that we're going to see a good CT side from Hyper if they can get a good amount of rounds to kind of make that comeback on that side. As they, like I was saying before, it doesn't look like they have a ton of strategies on this T side. So maybe picking this map because they know that they have a couple that have worked pretty well. They're going to try and work those strategies. And then moving over to the CT side, they're just going to have a very strong CT side. So it's not exactly the assumption that you want to make, but it is one that looks like they have opted for. And who knows as to what, I don't know what maps were banned. So maybe they had another map up their sleeve, but it was banned out. As being that these teams both play in leagues, you can find some information on what they've been scrimming on and also what they played official matches on, that kind of thing. But it looks like Toop is back in the server. Hopefully we can get this going here and continue on. Round number 11 about to start off, and they have queued the unpause. So luckily the delay is very, very short, and we're back live in this match.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and make the assumption that of the maps that were probably vetoed, D2 is probably at the top of the list. So I don't know, and I don't even know which side would have vetoed it, but it's a common veto map because you usually see these teams of this caliber being pretty solid on D2. Nonetheless, though, we are getting into round number 11 here. This is DWG versus Hyper. Hyper opting to push out a squeaky door. Fabian gets one, that's Toop down, but SLI and Sav respond quickly. Fabulous and Fabian off the board. Sin insight over on Canal. He has an M4 and he is holding off Short Pipe and Catwalk. He's got quite a job ahead of him here as most of the T's are focused towards B right now, and this has been the play I've been seeing a lot from Hyper. It's just putting a couple players in water and trying to make their way onto B, and it's definitely the harder site in my opinion considering the recent changes. Deimos, though, lining up the op shot down Short Pipe onto Sin, and now it's a 4v2. Deimos is going to walk right into the M4 of Robbie 1. Salmo gets 2, Shifty and Sav down, and now all of a sudden, it's a 1v2 in favor of DWG. So SLI with 7 HP is going to fall up and go back upstairs, try and get back over to A, but I imagine that the CTs are already going to rotate over, and if they're not, Salmo is in such a good position here, he should be able to spot the footsteps of SLI, and here he goes rotating around towards bank as he hears that player going for the plant on A. 25 seconds left in the round, gets that plant. So that's a big one, but with 7 HP here, it's going to be a difficult hold for him to manage.
And we do see on the rotate, Robbie is going to be playing from Electric Box. Salmo will be flashing up here, and SLI gets a freebie onto Robbie as he boosts up and holding a nice headshot angle. Can he get it? No, Salmo puts him down 12 HP. Hyper so close to clutching that round. And that is just painful to watch as just 12 HP separated himself and that win. So SLI, he tries, and props to him. He almost made it work there. Robbie goes down, boosting up on Electric Box, and a beautiful angle to hold that bank, but the crouch. He crouches down, and as soon as his head comes back up, he goes down. So another eco round for Hyper. And DWG looking to make this a very convincing scoreline on their CT side. But again, it is a CT-sided map, and like I was stating before, I imagine we're going to see a solid CT side from Hyper, but the problem is they're leaving themselves pretty much no room for mistakes once they swap over.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to get more rounds on the T side. They can't be happy with 12-3, which is what it's looking like it's going to be at this point. SLI is going to get that man in sight. That's Robbie 1, and the site is wide open right now. There's not a single player here to stop this. The bomb's going to get planted. Fabian pushing around, going to get taken out. Fabless responds, though, dropping Toop, and now it's on Deimos 1v3, but a good eco round there, getting that bomb plant and 2 frags, which is pretty much ideal. But in the last round, something we saw was they had an opportunity to create what we would call a swing round. So if they had won the previous round, they would have gone up 8-3, and the money from DWG would have been in a position where they probably would have ecoed, maybe bought 1 or 2 rifles and stuck with pistol armor on the rest. That would have meant that they could be facing a potential 8-4 scoreline. Instead, it's 10-2. There's a huge difference between those rounds, 10-2 and 8-4. I mean, 4 rounds on the T side of Overpass is a pretty healthy half for the T side. It's not amazing, but it's definitely manageable. 12-3 on the other hand, or 13-2 if it happens, not so much.
And they're looking like they're prepping for B once again. This is the bread and butter of the T side of Hyper. They try and use these boosts in construction and also utilizing Deimos with the AWP looking down towards Canal. And it's been successful a little bit, but I think after this match, they're probably going to go back to the drawing board and just think about, okay, we've got a nice setup at B, that's great, but we also need that A-side execution so you can be shifting back and forth, because right now you see a stack on this B site, more or less, and Salmo actually getting a knife kill. How did he get that? I have no idea. And Shifty team kills Toop. What are we watching right now? The round comes to a close as I was in third person just looking over construction, and yeah, that just didn't work out. So
they're saying he lagged out with the bomb,
so that's why the team kill came in.
That's a bummer, because
oh,
he was stuck with the bomb. They couldn't get it from him, and they TK'd trying to get it off of him, so they're gonna lose money for that. I wish that match medic was easier to make happen, because I would love to see these rounds, you know, get reversed. But again, there's no way to prove. Like, you can see in chat, they're saying kids unplugging his internet in and out. Like, there's really no way to prove if it was, you know, a connection issue or if it was, you know, created on your own, because players would definitely abuse something like that if they had the option, which I guess shows you the state of the competitive scene in general, that players would be willing to abuse such an awesome feature. But Hyper definitely going to be upset about that one. That's going to really hurt their morale. And something I had noticed in the first map is they are not necessarily at each other's throats, but like a typical team that's new and young and hasn't been together too long, when they start losing rounds, they don't take it well. They want to win. They're here to win, just like every other team. But something you see from top-tier teams or teams that have been together for a long time, they know how to handle losing. It's reason why there's a lot of young teams that have really promising performance but then die off really early. It's because they can't handle the losses, and as a result, the team disintegrates because one bad loss and everyone starts killing each other, and then that's the end of the team. So hopefully that's not the case with Hyper. They've had some flashes here, some decent rounds. Obviously struggling right now on the T side of a very CT-sided map in Overpass. So I'd like to see what they have on the CT side right now, but things looking very good for DWG.
Yeah, everything in their favor at the moment. Definitely working out great for them. Looks like we're just going to have a 2-minute break here as he is having some connectivity issues. Just doing a bit of a reboot, and hopefully we can continue this, but definitely not a fun round there for Hyper, and it could mean the difference in this map in some regards, purely because a 4 compared to like 3 rounds on that T side could definitely make the difference, as again, it's just more mistakes, or I guess there's just more of a chance that you can come back on that CT side is what I'm getting to. But if you only have 2, you have to take pistol and make no mistakes across the board for so many rounds that you can definitely make it happen, especially if you are very savvy on specific map. But it looks like we've lost Shifty as well. So we've got 3 out of the 5 Hyper members here, and we'll see if we're going to get this to continue. I do believe we're going to take a very, very short break here, guys, just because it looks like we're going to have a couple minutes break before getting them back in. So we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on, but we should be able to continue this second map and see how this second map does conclude. But like I said, just going to take a very short break as Hyper, they are having some issues on their end. So don't go too far. We'll be back in just a couple minutes as soon as these problems are fixed up.
Champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah.
All right, guys, looks like we are back here in the match. It has been requested to be unpaused. We've got all 5 in, and we're going to try and continue on. Will be an eco the round before last for Hyper. And that round that we just witnessed, definitely a little bit painful to watch as Tube did lag out. So now they're just opting to rush into B, and Deimos will take off the head of Sin. Sin only getting 1 here, but Fabian will be able to respond, and Fobless from Pit will drop everybody except for Shifty. And he will go down shortly after via the CZ75. So 12-2 the score line. 200 damage done with nades. Sin making it happen there. So although I only gave him credit for that one frag, definitely doing lots of damage as the T's entered the site.
Yeah, and this is a big round here for Hyper. They really need to pick this one up. 13-2 is just not a score you really want. And I know it is just one round. It really is a huge difference, because 13-2 means pistol round leads to victory if you can take it on the other side. If you get 12-3, it could take you to match point, but the game isn't necessarily over. And we've seen some crazy comebacks after a team gets to 15 rounds. Just recently, we watched Virtus Pro, and I believe it was... Who was the team that Virtus Pro faced off against where they got 15 rounds and almost came back? Property, that's correct. So it can happen, guys. It's not necessarily out of the ordinary. DWG here, obviously putting a lot in this round. Fobless with the Scar 20, just spamming through the plywood, and doesn't put any damage out onto the boys from Hyper. They're going to flash out towards Catwalk. Sav is there, spots a player over by Toxic Barrels. There's a man at CT Cross yet again, so this hold from the CT is pretty much standard but for them. Fobless in Pit, Sin by Toxic Barrels, and Fabian back by CT Cross. Deimos down to 60. He's going to get dropped by Fobless. Fabian with an 8 on Sav. Fobless gets another one with the Scar 20 before being traded out by SLI. So it's now on Shifty and SLI. Fabian, Robbie, and Salmo trying to stop this round from happening here. Bomb gets planted, and now it's the retake here. All 3 CTs already in the site. Nades and flashes raining out. There's a man in Canal. That's Shifty. Shifty taken out, so now it's on SLI behind this smoke. Needs to peek through and spot out this diffuser. It's not going to happen. Fabian takes him down, so now the score 13-2 in favor of DWG. And that's the score you just don't want to see if you are moving over to the CT side on this map.
Yeah, exactly. You drop pistol, you can't even make it to that rifle round with this kind of score line, so... not exactly the spot you want to find yourself in, as 3 rounds, that's all they need on this T side. Hyper needs to go massive on this pistol round if they want any chance of staying in here, and quite honestly, they need to go through that pistol round, make it through the anti-ecos, make it to the rifle round, get through the rifle round, and then thereafter start building a bank in a way that they can buy even if DWG takes a round. That is their best case scenario. But we'll see. Again, Hyper picked this map, so I imagine they're going to have a strong CT setup, and I'm excited to see how they work in this pistol round. We are just waiting for the ready up, and In the meantime, we'll do a little bit of plugs. Our Facebook giveaway going on. It is almost coming to a close as February 15th is quickly approaching. And that will be the end of that giveaway. We'll announce the winner of our GTX 960, courtesy of Cyberware on that date. But the prerequisites to enter that giveaway, just jump onto Facebook, go ahead and like our RGN page, as well as Cyberware LLC. That is the only prerequisite to the giveaway. And again, we'll be announcing that winner at the end of our broadcast. One giveaway we're doing today, though, is our follower giveaway. It's our Minimal Wear Electric Hive AWP. That is to all followers. So make sure you guys don't just X out of the stream as soon as this match comes to a close. If you want a chance to win, all you need to do is be following the channel, and we'll let you guys know what keyword you need to be typing in to enter in. But we'll definitely be doing that at the end of the broadcast, so stick around for that. But we are just waiting for, I believe it is, let's see, Shifty has dropped out once again. So a little bit of a delay in between halves, as I don't know if he's just reconnecting or what's going on there. They haven't said anything in chat, so we're not really sure what's going on. But anyhow, just waiting, and then we'll be jumping into that oh-so-important second pistol round for Hyper. One thing I'm really curious to see here is, again, the pistol round setup from Hyper. Do they get aggressive, or how does that work out? And again, DWG, we haven't seen what they have on their T side. Hyper opted to go B a lot of the time. And I feel like out of most of the matches I've seen, the T side, they will go B once in a while, but A is definitely, especially previous to the changes we're seeing due to at Long here, a lot of the teams would opt to take that A site purely because of the changes they made to expand the radius of where you can plant things. So you can smoke front site, get a plant down, and then fall back. You don't even need to take control of the site. You can fall back into restrooms, longs, that kind of thing, and play from there. So we'll see what they opt to go for, but we did watch my KPV versus Planet Key Dynamics earlier today. I was casting that, and on Overpass we saw my KPV kind of do a lot of fakes where they're putting a lot of pressure on A, but then falling back to B, and vice versa. We didn't see, we saw some rotates, obviously, but not a ton of fakes coming out from the Hyper lineup. So how does DWG play it? They only need 3 rounds to put things away. It will be interesting, as it does look like Shifty's back in the match, and we are going live here. The oh-so-important pistol round about to get started.
Yeah, and it looks like DWG is poised to take this in 2-0 fashion unless Hyper can pull off an insane comeback here on Overpass and take us to map number 3. But right now, things definitely looking good for DWG as they're going to be moving into the pistol round here. Round number 16 about to get underway. And again, sorry for the delays tonight, guys. Multiple issues. I mean, it's just one issue on top of another. Players disconnecting, issues with servers. It's been one of those nights for us, but we are here, we are live. And it looks like DWG is opting for a quick B play right now. Multiple players out, short pipe already, flash over the site. SLI is going to get the first one. That is Salmo down, gets the second as well. Toop there to take down Robbie 1. SLI finally ended by Fabless. It's now 4v2 though, so Fabless and Fabian here going to do what they can. Fabless is going to get sad. Fabian gets Shifty, but finally Hyper ending the pistol round, and a must-win situation for them, as they're going to go up now. One more round and prevent a potential end of the game here, because the pistol round would have put DWG at 14 rounds facing 2 ecos, so obviously they would have been in a position to just completely take the map.
Yeah, and the big player there would be SLI, playing from Toxic Barrels. It's actually not too common that you see the T's rushing into sight and not really peeking towards Toxic. The first man in, he just went right up the ramp trying to breach sight, and because of that, SLI got 2 really nice headshots with his USP, but this is not the way you want to have an anti-eco go. SLI needs to come up big here once again, and Shifty goes down, SLI down. It's all up to Deimos and his Deagle, and I can't believe you would pick up a Deagle on your anti-eco that is keeping you in the match. Like, I'm almost mad at that. Why would he pick up a Deagle in that situation? That is beyond me.
It's been something that I've been scratching my head at the whole game, is Hyper's tendency to gravitate towards the Deagle. I just can't make sense of it.
Well, he wants an op inevitably, but you don't have the luxury to go for that there. It's just, ugh.
Well, if you're going to do anything, pick up a CZ or pick up a light submachine gun, something. A Deagle is just so unreliable and go, and it doesn't really suit the round that you're facing because you know it's going to be a full-bore rush, or you're going to get overwhelmed by the one guy that buys a MAC-10 or something. It's just, it's also that it's expensive. It's really not that cheap. Like, if you want to try and save for the AWP, that's all fine and dandy. Pick up a P250, go for a 5.7. The Deagle is still very expensive, so I just don't understand the mentality behind that. And as I say that, there's 3 on the board this round already for Hyper.
Yep, and again, we'll see if they can make it work here, but definitely going to be difficult. We saw Sav getting a nice frag boosted up over the wall towards construction, but the B site, once again, the one of contention, and we'll see if they can hold here on that CT side. SLI goes down. Deimos putting some bullets into these Ts, but even at this distance, if you're not getting headshots, not getting a lot of damage in, but we'll see some frags coming up. It's all up to Deimos now in a 1v2. He's trying to get Robbie. Finally, he hits that shot, but even on that, you can see his crosshair placement, at least on my screen, it was down near his leg. It was one of the 4 shots and just bounced up and got the headshot. So regardless, he does get the frag, but with 16 HP here, he needs to hit the shot of his life. As he will hit it. Are you kidding me? Are you joking me right now? One of these guys just got a private message. He's like, hey man, the casters on the stream, they're totally talking badly about your Deagle play. You guys should totally show him up. And that he does. Damon goes massive and gets that 1D. And that's going to put them in a good position. Not great position, obviously, because it's a 14-4 scoreline, but definitely some life still on that CT side.
I would hope, though, that doesn't give them more faith in their Deagle, because that's one of the things that's been killing them is buying the Deagles. It's hurting their money. It's hurting their rounds. And we're going to see things start off here as Sav taking out Foblis before Fabian comes in and trades him out. It's a 4v4, Sin with the Tech 9, the rest have AKs, SLI on a P250, but he does have a defuse and some nades, so not necessarily too bad of a buy here. He's going to be watching short pipe from the side, and I kind of wish he kept that angle here as the smoke's about to fade, and it looks like there's 2 players about to walk their way into B. And he's going to get spotted out if he's not careful. That is Salmo taking him down, so here comes the push into B. Salmo gets 2, Toop and SLI down, puts some damage onto his teammate before the smokes rain out into sight. There's a man in upper right now trying to do what he can here. He's going to get into a duel and take out Robbie 1. So now it's a 2v3 retake. Shifty wrapping around, coming up towards CT cross. Deimos still in heaven trying to find the angle on these players in sight. Shifty knows there's a man in the pit. Doesn't matter. Deimos takes him down, so now it's a 1v2. And unfortunately, Shifty's going to go down. So now 15-4 is the scoreline, and it looks like the money on Team Hyper is going to force them to eco. They're obviously going to try and get whatever they can, but 15-4, I think they kind of know exactly what situation this is, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them kind of just get over aggressive here, take duels they don't need to take, and the score could probably, or most probably, will end 16-4 in favor of DWG.
Yeah, but Shifty, he picks up his Nova, which is named Betty, and I got faith in Betty here, so let's see if Hyper can make it work. He's going to be moving down the stairwell. Sin close on the other side here, but the first frag going to Fobla. Sin will spot off the barrel here of Shifty. Can he get the frag? He gets it. Betty going big, and he will pick up that AK-47 for it. So a 4v4 here, and SLI gets 1, Shifty with another, so it looks like they are not done yet. Want to continue fighting and bringing us some entertainment as Sav hits another Deeg. And it's all up to Fabian in a 1v4. He's going to peek out and won't be able to get anything done here. So Betty coming up big. But Nova, I just think that's super awesome.
I've learned that if I want a team to win, I just need to say that they're going to lose. You know, Hyper,
yeah,
they were in a position that was pretty difficult. I mean, they're down 11 rounds. It's already match point for DWG. And they were on an eco. I mean, it's not that you give up, but you just get in this mindset. It's like, okay, you know what? Like, we lost. You kind of just get in that idea, like, you don't necessarily say it out loud, but your play displays the fact that you know you're going to lose the game. And you see it from a lot of teams. They kind of give up in the sense that they get overly aggressive in that final round. They take peeks they don't need to take. They try to win duels, and it falls apart for them. Instead, though, Hyper goes for that Nova on the hallway, and it works out. Shifty picks up an AK, gets two with one with the Nova, one with the AK, so a decent round from him. Right now, though, the top fragger for Hyper is SLI, and he's got double the closest man, which is actually Sav. Actually, Damo's at 9, so not quite double, but still an impressive performance from him. On the other side, we have Salmo at 25 and 8, and Fabulous just behind at 22 and 10. So you can see what's separating these two teams right now. The duel's just going the way of DWG, but here comes the push from DWG, and they're going to take down Shifty early in that bomb site. Damos has to come up big, Sav helping him out, but Damos is only able to get one before Sin drops him. Fabulous with the Tech 9 takes out Sav, so now it looks like it could end on an eco here, so how disappointing to see Hyper do what they just did and then potentially lose here. It's a 1v3, goes for the peak, and that is exactly what happened. So Hyper pulls off an impressive eco round and extends the map, but unfortunately loses to an eco round. 16-5 is the scoreline, 2-0 for the match tonight. DWG taking it over Hyper.
Yeah, they heard you on that one, and they're like, no, we're going to put one more on the board before we lose, so Buck has to be proved wrong. That's how it goes being a caster. You call one thing and the opposite occurs. So anyhow, though, 2-0. DWG taking it, as Buck was just explaining. So they move forward in our upper bracket here. I'm just curious as to who they're actually going to meet up with. As I look that up, just a heads up, we are going to be announcing that Twitter giveaway winner shortly here. So again, the M4A4 Asimov. It is available courtesy of myself, which actually it came from one of my lovely viewers. So thanks again to Rift Smoke is his new name. But looks like DWG, they're going to be facing Paradox in their next match. So we saw an impressive performance for them against Hyper. How do they fare against Paradox is the question. Paradox, one of the teams that they have looked solid, and they made it through a lot of teams that people didn't expect in our last tournament. So definitely one of the teams to look out for, as that's going to be their next hurdle to get across. And of course, the other team in Hyper will drop down to the lower bracket. Looks like Noble Esports is the team that they'll face off against. So that is going to be it for our broadcast tonight, guys. Other than our giveaway, of course, of the Minimore Electric Hive. I almost forgot, but almost is, yeah, we're going to do the giveaway, guys. We're going to do the giveaway. So just give us a couple minutes here to figure out what we're going to do for the keyword and such. And again, it's not too late. You click follow on the channel. We will definitely include you in that giveaway. So hang tight here as we get the keyword ready, and then we will do that Minimore Electric Hive AWP. And then, of course, on Twitter, we'll be announcing the M4A4 Asimov one shortly after. So stay tuned, guys. We're doing the follower giveaway in just a couple minutes, but I do believe I might just be jumping back in here alone. Bach, where can they find you on the intertubes?
You can find me in the Twitter sphere over at Bach_TV. That's at Bach_TV. I would really appreciate the follow, and I'm probably going to be live streaming after this as well. Same name. It's twitch.tv/Bach_TV. You can pop in and say hello. Not even sure what I'm going to be doing at this point. It is already almost 1 a.m. my time, so the delays definitely kicked my stream back a little bit further than I'd anticipated. But feel free to stop in and say hello. I would really appreciate it.
For sure. Make sure you guys go check out his stream, and it's definitely a stud, so you might be locked to your monitor as soon as you get in there. Yeah, exactly. So, but we are going to take a really short break while we figure out what's going on with the giveaway. So don't go anywhere, guys. When I return, I'll let you guys know what the keyword is.